Hi, welcome to Bogy and Dave. I'm your co-host, Dave, joined by Mr. GQ himself, my partner here, Bogy. I want to make sure that everybody knows out there, when we say partner, we're friends. We live in different areas. We're friends. We're buds, okay?
And listen, I didn't come up with GQ. You did.
No, I know, but we met on the ball field when he realized that I was Lebanese and he was Lebanese, and that's how we got started.
Two Lebanese baseball players in the same field.
Exactly. So it's called Field of Dreams, Field of Kidby. Right?
Well, listen, I can't name two who played major leagues.
No.
Matuk, maybe.
Matuk, yeah. Anyway, we also promised we were going to bring back Jarrod Tillinghast. And we got a special guest.
We are very lucky to have Rich Cappiello with him, who is his partner in the venue Brawl for It All. So welcome back. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for inviting.
And you guys have another awesome event coming up on September 30th.
Yes.
But you wanted to, you started with a little side note there about Brockton.
Brockton is...
Because Rich, his first cousin is none other than Rocky Marciano.
One of the greatest of all times. Well,
absolutely.
To that point, my father had a business years ago in Brockton, and my father was a big fight fan. And he introduces this unknown boxer at the time to my uncle, who was a sports writer for the Providence Journal. And he brings him down, and of course, you know, who's this guy from Brockton? You know, there were a lot of fighters back then. And he said, Mike, he's a pretty good fighter. Watch him. So Rocky has a couple of fights in Providence. My Uncle Mike sees him and says, oh my God, this guy's great. So my uncle goes on the limb when finally Rocky gets his shot at a title bout. He says that Rocky's going to knock out Ezra Charles in the third round, and everybody across the country, I mean, the New York Times, the Boston Globe, the LA Times, all said this writer is out of his mind. There's no way that Ezra Charles would ever get knocked out by Rocky, let alone the third round. Third round, Rocky knocks him out. Not only does he solidify his name and his career, but he also helped out my uncles, because now my uncle, they would say, hey, Mike, what do you think? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so today,
that's big.
And Brockton is one of the greatest cities in the United States. I mean, at one time it was the shoe capital of the world. Boxing, sports, I mean, football is huge in that city.
So it's in your
Brockton
blood.
High School.
Brockton High School, exactly. So
it's in your partner's blood.
City of Champions.
Exactly, and it is
Very
the City
good.
of Champions, right? So tell us a little bit about, we wanted to bring you on because September, we're heading into September, big month for Brawl for It All.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
We're super excited to be back. We have a huge main event. You know, coming off the last event, I knew it was a big event. I knew we had some really bad blood and some real tough guys out there. And this event, it's like I pulled a bigger rabbit out of my hat with this one. This one is something nobody wants to miss. We have a couple of masters.
Before you go into that, just give a brief explanation of Brawl for It All for some people who may have not seen the last show. Tell us.
Brawl for It All is something actually about this past year. I came up with this concept of, I've always liked the tough man idea, but I was always worried about the liability issue. Mm-hmm. Well, just recently, this past year, USA Boxing sanctioned it, which means that they cover it for insurance purposes. So once they did that, I came up with this idea and a name called Brawl for It All, of guys coming off the street. And it doesn't have to be necessarily off the street. It could be a lawyer. We had a lawyer fighting a lawyer in my show in Brockton that we did, and they both walked in with briefcases. So the great, unique part about this is anybody can be in it. If you have an issue with another guy, you solve it in the ring and you shake hands after. So it's a great concept, and it's really, really building right now. So we're really excited. I've joined a partnership with Jarrod Tillinghast, and this kid is like, he's born to promote. And you know, he was a great fighter years back, not years ago, but a few years back.
Still a great
He's still a great fighter, yes. But you know something? The great part about Jarrod is he's a very talented kid. He's very gifted in marketing and promoting, and you know, I really knew coming to Rhode Island who I would need to be with. And coming here and working with him, we've established a great relationship. We've had one anyway. He fought for me many years. I've promoted for over 25 years. Mm-hmm. And me and him are building this thing. Oh, my brother, by the way. And it's just building up. And he's just killing it out here. The kid, he knows where to reach out to find the right fights. You know, we've got a couple big possibilities, you know, just on the horizon. And we're just really, really excited because we feel this is something that could go like throughout the country. It's
go national.
a very simple type of thing that you can take anywhere. Everyone has a grudge with somebody, and all walks of life can do this.
So what was the spark, that one thing that sparked you to say, hey, listen, I got an idea. Let's settle this like men.
Well, Rich called me, and he's like, JT, listen, I got something. I want you to meet me at the Marriott. That's his go-to spot, the Marriott on Elm Street in Providence. So, you know, and Rich is, like I said, he's a giant of a person. I can't say enough about him. He's always extended his arm extra to me. Even when I was fighting amateur, you don't really have those promoters that, well, you know, Jimmy Birchfield, obviously, he's great to me, and he was always super to me. But, you know, Rich, not being from Providence, being from Boston, he's seen my potential, he's seen my following, and we took a liking to each other. And Rich was always someone who really looked out for me. I knew what he was doing in Boston. I knew he was doing big things. I knew his connections, and I knew his ability and his power to promote fights. So me and Rich kind of took a liking to each other when we were amateurs. You know, when I was an amateur, Rich was, you know, I fought in all his tournaments, and I won numerous of New England titles and Marciano belts and diamond belts, and whatever Rich did, I fought in his tournament. And so we kind of developed a relationship earlier on, and he called me and said, JT, I know you're the man in Rhode Island. I got something I have to talk to you about. So I was excited about it because I trust Rich. You know, I believe in him, and I know what he does. And so I was like, all right, you know. He's like, meet me at Marriott at Elm Street. So I go to his spot. So we meet him, and he pulls this layout in front of me, and he's talking about solving street problems, and you know, it's, you know, because you have the tough man competition, and tough man's tough man, but it's different. It's people that sign up for tough man and they match them up together. This was unique. This was something he said, let's go out and solve street problems and solve brawls and save. So I thought about it. I'm like, geez, I know a lot of people in Rhode Island.
No guns, no knives.
No
Do
guns,
it. That's
no
where the good
guns.
energy comes in. You take
Yeah,
out the
we're
street
teaching
grudges
old
off
school
the streets.
values.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
So you know, he told me what his idea was, and I'm like, Rich, we can do something with this. This is something I could work with.
Because you're thinking of a lot of people.
Please, I could have rolled out my Rolodex. The list of people that I know that bang heads every weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Rich, I think we could do something here. I think this is something big. So when he brought it to me, I was stoked about it. I said, Rich, you know what? I already have a main event. I already have a co-feature too. You know, so the first thing I did was I got in touch with these two guys, and they've been, every time they seen each other, it was clashing, and they were banging heads, and I'm like, whoa, and now I'm friends with both of them. So I'm trying to say, guys, you know, I'm chasing him out of a place because he's in there, and I'm diffusing a lot of bombs across the city of Providence. And so I said to these two guys, I said, listen, you know, we're bringing something here. We're gonna bring Brawl for It All, and we want you guys to be the main event. They were both all for it, so they went in all hard training, and you know, we had a beautiful event. We had over 1,200 people coming through the door the first event. It was elegant, it was sexy, it was classy. There was beautiful people there, women, just people from all walks of life, police, different police departments. You know, you look over, you see a table of 10 police. You see a table over there of organized crime. You see a table over there of, it was just such a, and it was a tranquility in the air that you can't get anywhere. And people are still talking about it till this day.
So these guys on the 30th, let's talk about September 30th. What grudge do these two have? Who are they?
Well, again, we're in Rhode Island. You know, when we go to Boston, Rich is he's gonna do his thing out there. But you know, Bobby, the VI Gladiator Vigent, he's a big personality. He's a big, you know, he's got a lot of pride, and this guy has made his bones in Rhode Island, and you know, he's well respected. Mm-hmm. Of course, he's a master, and a master is anybody over the age of 40. Is it 40?
It is 40, and he's 55, I believe.
He's 54.
54.
He's 54. So We
In great
originally,
shape,
oh,
in
he's
phenomenal shape.
yeah, he's a machine. So we originally had a bout set between Jack, the Armenian assassin, Sarabekian, and Bobby because they had an old problem. So, but due to medical conditions, Jack, we just made a better decision because he's my friend and I'm not gonna let no one get hurt.
Right.
So due to medical conditions, we kind of pulled Jack off the card, and I got a phone call, and it was an old guy who used to train with in Manfredo's in '91 on Manton Avenue where I started, John Godzilla Gallant, and he's like, yo, JT, get Bobby for me, you know. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, you know, I don't know if it was back in the Barry's days or the olden days or who had a better perm than the other one. I don't know what it was, but there was an old problem between these two guys. And so he called me up, and Bobby didn't want to discuss the problem. John didn't want to discuss the problem. They just wanted to fight. So I said, all right. I started making my calls. I called Rich. I told Rich, listen, I have a big fight. This kid, John, can fight. He's coming to win. And, you know, I brought it to Bobby, and Bobby looked at me. He's like, almost like somebody resurrected from his past, you know? So Bobby coming out of the hospital, he's got IVs coming out of every hole in his body.
I went to him. He got an operation just about a week and a half ago. I went while he was in his room, and I interviewed him. Yeah, I'll be up in a couple of days. I'll be in the gym Monday. Yeah, I'm ready to fight. He's got tubes coming out of him. I'm ready to fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's inspiring to a lot of people too to think that he could even do that. You know what I mean? And he's up, he's out, and the kid's training. And this other guy, he's got Gallant, tough guy. To be really honest with you, I thought about that fight originally, but I'm like, there's just no possible way I can make that fight. He makes the fight. I just couldn't believe it.
Rich,
it's a great fight. They're two great guys, respectable guys, and they're gonna go handle in the ring. And it's as good of a main event as I could ever imagine. It's great stuff. And they get a little bit of an issue from years ago. And I'm confident at the end these guys are gonna shake hands.
Yeah.
And they're gonna just walk away at the end and like it's diffusing issues from the street into the ring. You know, it's exciting because these guys aren't guys that are in the gym every day. These are maybe a little older guys. Not necessarily all these guys are older either. I mean,
there's no age limit, though.
No, there isn't.
Right.
But the thing is, these are unexperienced guys getting in shape and doing something that maybe they've always wanted to attempt to do for years in their lives. You know what I mean? And to finally have that opportunity to go in there and do it. We have 3 90-second rounds, so your regular rounds are 3 minutes, so we cut it back, taking that into consideration.
Sure.
And believe me when I tell you, that's a long time.
That is.
With 16-ounce gloves on.
I used to
and
wrestle.
headgear.
You know how long a minute is.
So with that being said, these guys are getting in there and they're doing it. And he's got a great co-feature. And, from that, we're getting calls on a regular basis now, and everyone's excited about it.
Now, the beauty that I see in this, imagine going into inner cities
All
where
over America.
the grudge is exactly.
We have big things brewing. We have people. We have to actually rush back to the Marriott, our go-to spot, and we have a big.
By the way, it's a go-to spot for meetings. By the way, let's make that clear right now.
Professional only.
No, but that's where we met. That's our war room. You know, we go in there,
absolutely.
and we plan and we come up with strategies. But tonight, as we leave here, we're flying back down to the Marriott. We got a big production company coming in. We have big things in the makings for Brawl for It All. Actually, they're calling us. You know, we put Neil. Actually, you wrote a one sheet, an on sheet for me, which is amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Everybody that sees that thinks the way it was written was incredible, and thank you for that. I so appreciate it. My old friend, and he did something really nice. And Neil's a great writer, and he's doing great things himself with he's writing books on Amazon. Guys, Neil Borgasian, you need to check this guy out. He's the real deal. So Neil, you wrote something up for us, and I sent it to a few people, and we're sending it out because, and they actually called us. So Rich is like, JT, I got a call from this, and I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, they want to meet us. I was
we'll
like,
see what happens.
Exactly.
yeah. So we're excited.
You
We're
put as
excited.
many
I
eggs in
agree
the
on
basket
that.
as you can. You see which one hatches.
I think you've tapped into something that is, on many levels, just phenomenal.
I
Yeah, it's a
agree.
very unique thing, and the great thing about it's really not your average boxing fan. These are like fans of this particular guy's fighting. It's his family, his friends, his
Right.
cousins, his brothers, their friends. So we're bringing a whole new crowd out. This isn't the boxing crowd. It's really not.
Yeah.
The 3 shows I've done, we're going on number 4. They're not boxing fans. They're family
Fans
and
of the
family.
people.
Life,
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And people love the uniqueness to it. And like I said, I mean, imagine like a cop versus maybe a someone from the fire department, or like I said, the lawyers fought. I mean, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we have maybe we have a couple senators.
I was
one
just
day.
going to say that.
You know what?
These guys are big for the politicians
You know
beating
what's
each other
interesting?
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah, the
love
politicians. Bring them on.
I think that politician angle is a great
I
angle.
agree.
Yeah, we're looking to do maybe cops versus cons.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know
something
about
like
that one.
You know what's fascinating?
That'd
though?
be a tough one to get
What's
going, but
fascinating-
we
Cinderella Man, the movie Cinderella Man.
Yeah.
The way that was written, I believe your platform
Yeah.
can begin to deliver the same. It's for the people.
Yes.
It takes it to the people.
Yes.
Let's be peaceful. Don't kill each other. Step into the ring, settle it, shake hands, mutual respect, humility, all of the
Humility.
good things.
We were a
Yeah.
little bit nervous on the last show. We had a good friend of his.
Both.
Dino, both of them. And, they're tough guys on the street, Not that, So we were worried about having these 2 worlds collide and what's going to happen, maybe after.
Afterwards.
But you know something? There's a line of respect. It's funny, when you get in that ring and you put those gloves on, you come out a different person.
I agree.
do.
You come out with a whole different respect for getting in there and fighting.
You've been
And-
in and around it all your
Yes,
entire
and,
life.
they ended it, they shook hands, and it's over, and it's a great thing.
It is a great
And it was a
thing.
great experience for those guys, 2 good guys, and they moved on,
These 2 guys were on the news on Channel 12 in Rhode Island saying, I don't like him. I don't like him. And the other one was like, oh, he's a bully, he's a punk. And they really didn't like each other. Now you go out, you see them having dinner together. They're talking, they're hugging, they're friends. And I didn't think it was ever going to be possible. Because I know both of them and their personalities are so strong. I don't like them, I don't want nothing to do with them. And neither one of them wanted it. Now it went away.
Yeah.
It
Well,
went away.
to that point, I mean, there's this real dislike in the beginning.
Yeah.
Unlike when you see a boxing match that's professional, they try to build up the dislike for each other because they have to.
Right.
It's kind of forced. But this is really
We're
a dislike.
looking for issues.
Yeah, I'm posting on Facebook. Anybody got an issue with someone? I'm getting mail. I'm getting messages. People are calling me from. They're sending me messages. I get a message today of this guy Giuseppe Anthony. He snapped a picture of the guy he wants to fight, and he has a problem with on Facebook. And he's like, "Did you call him yet? Did you talk to him yet?" So I'm like, no, I'm sending him a message now, and I had to send a picture of who has a problem with him and asking him if if you want to settle the score here. There's a 1 girl fight maybe in our event, our last event. We had a couple girls going after each other, and I'm trying to put a girl fight together right now. Not just 1, but I have like 4 of them in the making. So, but it's a lot of work to reach out to ordinary people to get them, especially girls, to put gloves on and to get in a ring in front of this event is we had over 1,200 people to the door last event, 1,200, This event is, I don't even know if we're going to be able to fit them in the building or in the venue.
I'd like to know about the nuts and bolts. So we've got about 9 minutes left of the show, but referees, okay? What do you do with it? Do you get a pro?
This is all licensed and sanctioned by USA Boxing. We're insured 100%. I wouldn't even take on a task like this with a liability issue. And honestly, it's why I've never done it. Once I saw it happen, and I realized they were tied in with USA Boxing, that's when I knew I could come up with a creative idea and make this unique, And honestly, without that, it's impossible to happen. USA Boxing, they bring the referees, the judges, they actually get a win they actually get licensed as a amateur boxer.
Okay.
and they literally get a win or a loss on their record.
That's
Now,
fantastic.
in every state,
That bonds them right there.
Yeah.
in every state, Rich, there's a boxing commission.
Yes.
You go through them and like no.
There is. Every state is regulated
Right.
in their own
But
state.
it's not professional boxing
Oh,
commission.
that's
right.
true.
But,
So-
but it's under an umbrella for USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all done under that big umbrella.
Okay.
So.
But it's amateur.
Amateur. That's
The
right.
commission of boxing is professional.
And they opened the, it was them that opened that door for these type of opportunities, you know what I mean? And honestly, I did the pros for many years. I've had some great wins. I had 3 world champions. My guy knocked Mike Tyson out back in the day. Been involved with a lot of stuff, nationally and internationally. I've done about 150 shows. So I did my thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I was done. Like, I put a lot of years in, and it's a lot of work, and it's, it's a big commitment, and, I was done. So to come up with an idea, with a unique idea like this, is why I'm back in doing this.
It's fun now.
It's
Good
fun
for
to
you.
me.
Okay.
This
Absolutely.
is fun.
So was there any one instant like did you see a couple of friends going at that you said, you know what, there's something here, and then that's when you met with Jarrod. Was there anything that
No, because I've always liked that tough man type of thing,
Okay.
situation. I thought it was great, but it was never licensed. And, liability-wise, someone gets hurt, you're in trouble.
right?
I found out that they actually licensed it legally with USA Boxing. I'm like, oh my God. So I sat down with my brother. I'm like, I got an idea. So I went, I created a logo, came up with the name, and I have my guy that does all my stuff, my graphic work. We designed a graphic, a logo, and then I got it licensed.
And you have the logo on the
name.
back of that shirt right
yeah,
now.
I do.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
And,
tell people where they can buy those shirts.
We'll buy it at our next event
Yeah.
Okay.
at a brick house.
It's an awesome logo on the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
there.
I'm going to send you guys it. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
show
Yes.
it. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But so I tried it out my way, and we had 2 nights. We had like a semifinal, then a finals. Every winner gets a belt, fighting for the title, and it was just a great idea. And I want to come out here, and I called Jarrod up. I knew he was the guy. We came out here. We made it very successful, and now we're getting input from everywhere. Like, the phone's off the hook. People are talking about it. People are excited about it. So I think the sky's the limit. I think we can really take this thing to another level. I actually
absolutely
produced
agree.
a TV show called Mohegan Sun Fight Night USA that I produced by myself, my own production company. I went with the idea of Fox Network. I bought the time. I got my own production company. I produced the show. I took all the commercial inventory as well as all the stuff graphically on TV. And that's what I used to pay the expenses, and I put it on air. After my first year, we did high ratings. We were doing 1 ratings, which is a great rating. My second year, Fox teamed up with me, and they became my partner. And we went 5 more years at Mohegan Sun, produced them there, and we ended up making barter deals up and down the coast. And we were very, very successful. We did millions and millions of homes. So I know that this same concept, which is very unique, can also be done in the same manner. So I've done it once. Why can't I do it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
And along with this guy here, my brother Mike, I think we have a good team of
The
people here.
platform has a lot of charisma. You guys have a lot of charisma. I think it can blast off.
This guy's energy's out the door. Like,
I agree with you.
Like, I'll tell you something. When I started working with him,
right.
honestly, like, I didn't even realize originally his potential, and his potential is unlimited. I know he's known as a tough kid, blah, blah, but he's way beyond that. This kid's a very, very intelligent kid.
Sure is.
He's when he puts his mind to something, he wants it, just like he used to fight.
Yep.
He does this like he's fighting in the ring.
Yep.
This guy attacks it. And if I give him something to do, he's on it, and he makes it happen. And I'm telling you, the sky is the limit.
And he has a great heart.
He's got a great heart, and he's a good guy.
Thank you.
You find that with guys.
I'll
that
put
are-
the
blush,
check in
don't
the mail.
blush.
I'll put the check in the mail.
Listen,
The check's in the mail.
you know, the fighting part's over, and there's ways of making money intelligently, and
Absolutely.
he loves the business.
Yeah.
Why not?
I talked to Rich. I called Rich last night, and to have a relationship and to develop into a great partner, trusting each other is crucial. Because I've always grown up like I'm loyal to a fault. So I called Rich last night, and the past week, Rich is
We got 3
his
minutes.
mind.
I get a lot going on.
He's
so-
got so much going on that his mind was in different
All over the
places. So I kind of Rich,
Bring him down.
Yeah. So I reeled him in. Like I love fishing. So
And I loved it, and I said thank you. I needed that.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it's nice to have someone pull me in.
So-
I'm usually
so-
pulling everyone else in.
But Rich says to me last night, he goes, "You really believe in this, don't you?" On the phone to me. I said, "Rich, I believe in this more than I ever believed in anything before, and we're gonna not only take this to another level, but I know it in my chest, in my heart. I feel it. I see it."
Do you know why you liked what I wrote? Because I believe in it too. As soon as he told me about it,
Yeah.
I think you guys have a fantastic platform here, fantastic idea.
Yeah,
It can
and
go
the way you wrote
as
it
far
was
as you
gorgeous.
want. As far as you want.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just
That's
be
quite the
careful.
compliment.
From
We
my
appreciate that.
own experience dealing with some of those people in entertainment, and I know you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't get edged out.
Well,
That's all.
No, the way you
have that
wrote.
history.
Yeah, I
the
got
way
a
you-
good experience. I
Yeah.
also worked with my son. He's a performing artist.
Yeah. And the way
He's
you
done
wrote it
some
was
pretty big things too. So I'm out there
put it in there
that
like
world, you know.
we're a part
I
of
understand.
it. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you did a great job, Neil. You did a really great job. I got to take my hat off to you. He wrote a one sheet. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really nailed it with this, and
Oh,
and he
yeah,
kept us in the loop. He kept us, and it was just perfect. Anybody that sees it is like more impressed, not with the idea, but with the way it was done.
I want it to be with the idea.
Yeah,
Let's not
but
lose
you
that.
know-
So to wrap things up in the last minute and a half.
Right.
So September 30th.
September
date-
30th.
Now, is there one going on in Boston too, or
No,
just
we're
here
doing
right
one
now?
at a time.
Okay, good.
We're taking steps. You know, I believe you take one step to the other. You crawl before you walk.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, this is a building process. This is something that's got to develop. You can't force it. You got to let it happen naturally.
Yep.
So it's something we're going to work on and just keep building. And then that's
Good for you.
our goal. We're going to
Building on each
take
success.
one step at a time.
Yeah.
Good for you.
September 30th, Brick House in Woonsocket, Diamond Hill Road. You don't want to miss this one. This is going to be, and you got to get your tickets because we're definitely selling out of this event.
If they want to get a ticket, how do we get a ticket?
Rich Cappiello, Jarrod Tillinghast, Bobby Vigent at Brick House. You can get in touch with each one of us through Facebook, email.
Yeah.
We're out there, guys. You know how you did it the last time. You know.
And they could also contact the studio here, which will contact us.
And they can-
the week, yeah.
And I hope to
Yes.
see you guys front row, please.
And this,
Yes.
You gotta be
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
This
It's-
platform has chops. It has lineage.
That's
It's
right.
got the bloodline. It's got the history.
And it's on my birthday, September 30th.
It's got the grudge.
Happy
Is it
There you
really?
go.
Let's have fun. We had a drone over the last event. This event, I had 5 people call me.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want to put 5 drones over the event. This thing has got wings on it, and it's just taking off.
Flying around.
It's taking off.
Fantastic.
We're sitting back and
Shooting
looking
it.
at this, and it's like, you know what? The more each day goes on, the more I believe and the more I push hard and Rich, and we're ecstatic about it. And we're solving problems.
There you go.
That's right. They're taking energy and channeling in the right direction. September 30th, Brawl for It All at the Brick House in Woonsocket. You know how to get in touch with it. Go on the website, look on Google it, or get in touch with us here. We'll point you in the direction to get the tickets. September 30th, Brawl for It All. Be there. And join us next week for the next Bogy and Dave show.
Thank you.
Rich,
Thank you, guys.
Jarrod, thank you
Pleasure.
very much.
Thank you so
for coming on
much.
the show.
Appreciate it.